Have you ever noticed how the nicest car in the parking lot usually belongs to the person who complains the most about money? You know exactly who I'm talking about. The brand new SUV with the temporary plates, the spotless truck that's never hauled anything heavier than groceries, the car that smells like leather and poor financial decisions. And every time gas prices go up or groceries get more expensive, that same person is the first one to say, "Man, money just doesn't go as far as it used to." And they're not wrong, but the reason has four wheels. Here's the uncomfortable truth most people don't want to hear. Cars don't just cost you money. They quietly delay your financial life. So let's talk about cars. Not supercars, not Ferraris, regular cars. The kind people say they need, because the average car payment today is doing something that would have been considered insane not that long ago. It's creeping into the same category as rent. And yet millions of people sign up for it without a second thought. Here's how it usually starts. Someone walks into a dealership just to look. They don't ask how much the car costs. They ask one question: what's the monthly payment? That question alone tells you everything. Because once you frame a purchase as a monthly number instead of a total cost, reality becomes very flexible. A $40,000 car doesn't feel like $40,000. It feels like $620 a month, and $620 doesn't sound catastrophic until you realize you've just volunteered to send a car company a rent check every month for the next 6 or 7 years. But the real damage isn't the payment itself. It's what that payment prevents. Let's say you're paying $700 a month for your car. That's $8,400 a year. That's money that never gets to become anything else. It can't become an emergency fund. It can't become investments. It can't become flexibility. It just evaporates, while the car gets older and worth less every single day. And here's the part people miss. Cars don't just cost money. They create secondary costs. Expensive car, more expensive insurance. Newer car, full coverage, gap insurance, higher deductibles. Bigger car, more gas, more tires, more repairs. Suddenly that $700 payment quietly turns into $1,000 plus a month once you factor in everything else. And no one budgets for that number. Now here's where things get dangerous. Most people don't keep a car for the full length of the loan. They get bored, or life changes, or they see a newer model. So they trade it in before it's paid off. And because cars depreciate faster than loans shrink, they usually owe more than the car is worth. That negative equity doesn't disappear. It gets rolled into the next loan, which means the next car starts underwater before it even leaves the lot. This is how people end up paying for cars they no longer own. It's a financial treadmill. You're moving constantly, but never forward. And while all of this is happening, something subtle is going on in the background. Your car becomes part of your identity. It's not transportation anymore. It's proof you're doing okay, proof you're successful, proof you've made it. So downgrading doesn't feel like a financial decision. It feels like failure. Driving something cheaper feels like going backwards, even if your bank account desperately needs it. This is why cars keep people broke longer than they expect. Not because they're stupid, not because they're irresponsible, but because the system is designed to normalize long-term payments for short-lived assets. We've accepted the idea that it's normal to finance something that loses value, locks up cash flow, and limits your options, all in exchange for comfort and appearances. And here's the final gut punch. If you took that same $700 a month and invested it instead, even conservatively, you'd be building actual wealth. But instead, most people use it to fund depreciation. They trade future freedom for present convenience. And they don't realize what it cost them until years later, when they're still getting by and wondering why they never seem to get ahead. So the next time you see a really nice car, don't assume the driver is winning. They might be comfortable, they might be happy, but statistically, they're probably just locked in longer than they planned. If this video made you think differently about your car or your next one, give it a thumbs up. And if you want more honest conversations about money without the guru nonsense, consider subscribing, because money doesn't ruin lives. Unexamined decisions do.